obviously nutrition plays a huge role in athletic performance. What kind of diet do you follow to kind of stay fit throughout the season and keep yourself fueled up?
Uh, it's fairly I've learnt a lot from diet, mate. I think when I was younger, when I was at Aldershot for probably the first 2 years, I put way too much pressure on myself, especially around game days on what I was eating. Um, the best way to fuel yourself is just to fuel yourself. Like I know a lot of the time I would like, I wouldn't eat certain foods in certain situations because I either had, you know, I believe certain foods were lucky or they like I had my certain routine. But if I ever had a day where, we were traveling on a Friday and I couldn't have the food that I would normally cook at home, it
Mm.
would throw me off my game a little bit.
Good
Um,
decision. Footballers love that kind of
yeah, like
routine.
that psychological like sort of routine before a game. And I think as I've got older, I've sort of relaxed more, and I understand the basics of like, of what how many grams of carbs I need per body weight to perform for 90 minutes, like the day before in the morning, and the hours like prior. But week to week, like just during the week, now I'm really relaxed. I think the main thing I focus on is just get hitting my protein goal so that my recovery is correct. But I don't look too much into what I'm eating. I just make sure I have three sort of good big meals a day that all have a big protein source, 30 to 40 grams in each meal. Um, and then I probably follow like an 80-20 diet. So I try to have 80% whole foods,
Yeah.
20% of the processed stuff because I mean, it's pretty hard to avoid any processed foods these days with, 80% of the shopping market of a food hall is going to be processed foods, boxed foods,
That is
packaged
food.
foods. Yeah, and you
Right.
can't get away from it. So I don't
Mm.
think it's healthy to tell people not to have any of it, but to try and just minimize it.
Yeah.
That's how I go.
I mean, you also don't want to go completely insane. Like, think about it this way. If you're doing 80-20, you're training hard, you're looking after yourself, there is a good chance that you're going to be quite happy in your life. Your physique is going to be pretty impressive. You're going to be able to perform pretty well.
Yeah, that
Uh,
has that has a knock on effect to how you perform because if you're spending your week not enjoying the food you're eating and you're not relaxed, you're not sleeping well, it's knocking on towards your performance. So
Exactly. We need palatable foods and we need things that we can enjoy because if we don't have them, then we just drive ourselves insane. And then it leads to binging or it leads to potentially thinking, oh, you know what, I've played today, so I'm gonna have a crap meal, and then you're even more inflamed the next day, right?
yeah.
Um, so how do you maintain physical and mental resilience through a long, demanding season?
Whew. Um,
Is there anything you do particular? Because I know,
Well,
like I
I
said,
honestly
you've got
think a
this.
big thing, mate, is escape. Like escaping from one thing I've loved since going from sort of full time to I'm a little bit more of a part-time environment now is having that escape out of football. Like where I've got a couple of businesses of my own now on top of my that's still playing at that full-time level. It's
Mhm.
nice to have that escape. So, if things aren't going well, if I'm not in the team, if we're not playing well, if we lose on a Saturday, I think when I was younger, it would affect my whole week. It would if I didn't play on a Saturday or if we lost or I had a bad game, it really would affect my whole week. But now, I look back at that and I wish I had more things outside of football because then I think I would have approached football in a better way because I'd have an escape, I'd have something else
Yeah.
to go to. I think a lot of lads do that now and they learn that as they get older, sort of into their prime, 25, 26, that, they have family outside of football or they have
Yeah.
other jobs. And it's becoming more apparent to a lot of lads now. I think a lot of them in the pro game are starting to get hobbies
Mm.
outside, and that's probably helping with performance for everyone because yeah, you're like there's more to life than just football, and
Yeah. So true.
it gives you that sort of expression outside to follow your other hobbies and things like that. And most lads do finish training at 1 o'clock every day. You're done for the day, and then you can just go and do what you want.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a pretty interesting lifestyle, isn't it? I mean, the staff work pretty long days, but the boys, it's normally maybe 8 or 9 o'clock until 12, maybe 2 o'clock at the latest if you've
yeah,
stayed for a rub or a massage or a little bit of extras. So it's basically
exactly.
part time, isn't it?
It is, it really
You
is.
see things afterwards.
Definitely have to find things to distract you in the evenings and afternoons and Sundays where you can, yeah, just get away from it and just,
Yeah.
it's like anything. People that work 9 to 5s, like, or work for any corporate companies, like they'll have a lot of hobbies outside. I mean, I think the difference is that we don't see work as work. For us, it's like we're playing football. So
That's great, isn't it?
yeah, but then when you obviously see most people in corporate jobs, it is. they don't want to be there. After five, they want to go and do their own thing. But yeah, I think it's important for footballers to keep that mental resilience and that physical across 10 months, 11 months of a year. Definitely find a way to escape. And then what you find is when you're there, you're really there, like you're present the whole time because when you're not there, you're doing other things. So